Yesterday, the first 3 episodes of Titans Season 3 started streaming on HBO Max. Those first 3 episodes were so amazing. I loved them so much. Huge improvements from the past seasons. And of course, if you haven't already, go and check out my full episode review and breakdown for those 3 episodes. I did it all in one video, bringing down all the biggest moments, the Easter eggs, the references, and of course, my theories for the rest of this season. But something you may have noticed is that after you finish watching episode 3, one of the special feature type things that popped up instead of the next episode, because episode 4 isn't out yet, was a brand new teaser trailer. And I was like, I got time, I'll watch it. I watched it, and there is so much new stuff in this trailer that we have got to talk about, because there's some big stuff here that I was not expecting them to show off in a trailer. And it's only a minute long. I think it was 51 or 52 seconds long, but there is a lot packed in this trailer. So we are going to go ahead and break down this brand new trailer / teaser / promo, whatever you want to call it. Of course, there are going to be spoilers in this video for the first 3 episodes, because there are some reused footage that we already saw in the first 3 episodes. But without further ado, let's jump into this. So we start off with Wayne Manor, this nice faraway shot, really just a beautiful shot of just that giant mansion, and you got all the trees around it and the fog. It just looks great. Then we meet up with Kern Walter's Jason Todd. He's definitely going through some hard times now. As you can see, he's been murdering some people, and he's going through some tough times. And Corey is talking about he's the Red Hood now, we have to stop him. And then Dick is just he's not Jason anymore, he's the Red Hood, and we need to take him down. And then we get just this great shot of Jason. He's just looking so menacing there. Max original, he's just standing there, again, looking very evil. So that's pretty cool. There's this reused shot that we saw in, I believe it was episode 3, when he was calling Hank. And he was obviously playing an act at that point where he was like, oh, I need your help and all this stuff, but it was just sending him on a wild goose chase, of course, leading to, it was a trap. Looks like here he is holding some sort of vial, which I'm assuming is the same thing that he's been consuming in the first couple episodes. That, for example, specifically, we saw right at the beginning of the first episode, before he went to go battle the Joker, he had this yellowish orange serum that he just injected into his face. And in my review and breakdown, I mentioned it was fear toxin, but what I didn't realize is it's not just regular fear toxin. I do think it is adjacent to fear toxin and has some sort of connection to Dr. Jonathan Crane, but it's clearly having the opposite effect, because he keeps mentioning things about fear and conquering your fears. So I have a feeling instead of this serum causing fear, like fear toxin usually does, instead it actually does the opposite and helps you conquer your fears and just feel strong and confident and powerful. And then this is probably the biggest thing in this trailer, where we get a shot of the Scarecrow Mask. This is not something we knew would be happening in this season. We thought, alright, it's just going to be Dr. Jonathan Crane. He's just going to be in Arkham the whole time. He's not going to suit up as the Scarecrow, but here we have the Scarecrow Mask. And we still don't know for sure if he's actually going to put it on and become the Scarecrow, but I mean, the fact that it's in the trailer has to mean that we're getting full-blown Scarecrow here, and that is so exciting. I love the way the mask looks here. Definitely reminiscent of what we saw in Batman Begins. I'm hoping he also has a hat to go with it too. But yeah, it looks amazing, and definitely, again, confirms that we're getting a bigger role from this character in this season. And then it says, in the weeks ahead, because we've got plenty of weeks ahead with this show. And then speaking of Scarecrow, there we have Vincent Kartheiser's character of Dr. Jonathan Crane. Looks like he is still in Arkham at this point. That's the only place we've seen him so far. He's just been having some conversations with Dick, and there's the outside of Arkham Asylum looking amazing. And then this shot, you see Jason at the forefront here. Looks like he's kneeling on the ground. Looks like maybe even his helmet is there in the background. But also in the background, you see Dr. Jonathan Crane wearing the same exact outfit that he was wearing in the last shot. So clearly, he has escaped Arkham, and as I was talking about, again, in my spoiler review and breakdown, I have a feeling he is behind Red Hood, because it was made very clear and very obvious in these first 3 episodes that Jason is not completely responsible for this, because somebody got his body out of the morgue, and we saw the henchman doing that. But somebody had to be orchestrating this the whole time. And, Dr. Crane is just such a smart guy that he totally could have done this from in prison. He even said in, I think it was episode 2 or 3, he's got connections, and he probably has connections enough to make this whole thing happen, and he is the reason that the Red Hood has now been born. And that's why, again, we keep seeing Jason with that offshoot of fear toxin. And I think this is another way that they can use to actually kind of redeem Jason by the end of the season, to say like, oh yeah, sure, he murdered a bunch of people, but at the same time, it wasn't completely his fault because he was under the influence of fear toxin, even though, he still did some pretty bad stuff. And then again, there's just another great shot of Dr. Crane. That doesn't look like his prison cell, so I'm not sure if that is, but he is wearing still his Arkham uniform. And then you've got Jason there. It looks like this possibly is the same scene just based off the lighting. I could be wrong, but I think this is maybe right after Dr. Crane escaped, and he's like, oh yes, my puppet, and like, yeah, Jason's like his puppet and everything, and Dr. Crane is the puppeteer, and this is awesome. It's so good, and you get this great shot of Jason looking in the mirror with his Red Hood helmet on, which looks so amazing, and then also here's a shout out to episode 3 when Jason tossed a guy out of the building onto Dick's car. And the explosion from the end of episode 3. I'm such a sad moment. Then Barbara Gordon, I believe that's a shot from episode 1 when we're first introduced to the character. This great shot of Red Hood. I believe this is a new shot of the character, but just, again, he looks so intimidating there and just so cool and so badass. And then, again, as they were doing at the beginning of the trailer, Dick is just talking to the Titans and saying, like, Jason is a lost cause. He showed us that he will not show us any mercy, and we just need to take him down. And I love how you got this little team meeting here with Corey and Connor and Gar, so that's pretty cool. And then you've got a new shot of Bruce Wayne. Of course, in episode 1 he left and we haven't seen him since then, so it seems like he is going to be coming back, and he's definitely on a psychological downfall because he murdered the Joker. So there's definitely going to be some stuff going on with this character that I'm interested to see in the future. Another thing I'm really excited to see is more Raven and Donna Troy, or Rachel and Donna Troy, because we didn't see any of them in the first 3 episodes. We got a mention of Rachel because Gar was like, oh yeah, I miss you, Rachel, and all that stuff. But now we have our first look at Rachel in the season, where, as you can see, she is indeed on Themyscira, because that's how season 2 ended, with Rachel deciding she was going to go to Themyscira with Donna's body and try to resurrect her. And that, again, is something that Gar even mentions in episode 1, I think it was. So you see that she's here. It looks like she's wearing some sort of maybe Amazonian tribal outfit. It's this nice white outfit, which definitely reminds me of the comics when Raven became like a pure version of Raven, and she had a full-on white suit instead of the usual bluish purple color. So it'll be interesting to see if in this season we actually get a comics accurate look for Raven, and whether that's going to be, again, the purple or blue hood, or maybe start off with the white one. I think that'd be pretty interesting too. And then speaking of that, again, she is here to resurrect Donna Troy, and at this point, they're not keeping it a secret. They put her in one of the previous trailers. She's in the poster. Yes, Donna Troy is coming back because her death was so I mean, she's literally an Amazonian, and she got electrocuted, and that's how she died. So she's coming back to life, but I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like a Pet Sematary thing, where either she's like lost her memories, or she's like evil, similar to what we saw in Justice League when Superman was brought back to life and resurrected, and she's wearing more darker colors here. So all is not right with Donna Troy. Then we've got a cool shot here of Corey. Again, she's going to be a big part of this season. We get more flashbacks and or maybe flash forwards. We don't know for sure exactly what it is, but this was a big thing for her character in the first 3 episodes, where she just kept getting these flashes of what we assume is her being hauled away to get experimented on or something like that. I love the effects here with her green eyes. She looks really cool. And then, of course, her sister, Blackfire, aka Commander. And she is kind of like the secondary main villain of the season. I have a feeling it's kind of being like Red Hood is the main villain in the first half, and then Blackfire for the second half, but we also might have a little crossover there as well. So she looks really cool here. It looks like she's actually in Wayne Manor in the kitchen. Because then you see that she's actually talking to Connor there, and Corey eventually shows up later, and you've got this crazy confrontation a shot later where Connor is taking her somewhere. I'm not sure if she's like locked up and he's taking her to imprison her somewhere, or if they're doing something as a team together. I'm not completely sure because, actually, before I move on, when it comes to Connor, he of course is half Superman and half Lex Luthor. So I think it'd be interesting if he all of a sudden had like little outbursts of just evil inside of him because of that Lex Luthor side. So that'd be pretty cool to see. But here you do see that Blackfire has now been in prison, and Starfire is on the outside there just looking in on her. This is a fight we saw in previous trailers where they're fighting each other inside the cell. Looks really cool and everything. This amazing shot of Red Hood where he's got the helmet on, he's got the hood, looks like he's got a sniper or something like that. And this looks like this could relate to something we saw in the official trailer, which I did also do a breakdown on. In the scene where it's like the final battle between Red Hood and Nightwing, which I'm excited to see as well. And then we get this great shot of the Titans. Of course, Nightwing right front and center, Beast Boy, Superboy, and Starfire with a bunch of guards around them. This could be possibly the GCPD. I'm not completely sure. Another great shot of Jonathan Crane where he's saying like, you don't even know what to expect. And yeah, going into this, we did not at all expect Jonathan Crane to be one of the big villains, but it looks like he is. And again, I 100% think that he is behind this whole thing. We get a nice shot of Dick, another shot of Jonathan Crane, which this is after he's escaped prison. He's wearing regular, normal clothes. He's combed his hair and everything, and he is just watching maybe even a battle between the Titans and Red Hood. And then another shot of Donna. Looks like she's training. She's got a cool sword there. She's out in the woods, looking great. Another great shot of Raven or Rachel, which I believe is a shot we saw in a previous trailer. A great shot of Starfire. I love how her face is lighting up orange, and she's got the green eyes just like Starfire in the comics. We get to see Jay Lycurgo's Tim Drake, who we only saw in the first episode for just a little bit. So I'm definitely excited to see more of this character. And that is the end of this teaser, guys. Again, that was only like a 50-second promo, but we got a lot from this trailer. I am so excited to see more of Jonathan Crane, again, hopefully suiting up as Scarecrow, because we did see that mask, see where this Red Hood story is going to go, see where the Blackfire stories is going to go, and everything else going on in Titans Season 3. But guys, of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this brand new promo for this season? Of course, all your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything goes on in the DC life.